Hi, everyone. I'm Summer,
I'm Carrie.
and this is Hopelexia Podcast.
Join us to talk about sex, drugs, and self-improvement.
So I'm in my van again today from a very different angle than ever before, because at a very awkward and uncomfortable one. Because for whatever reason, I have one of those phone stands that has the little adjustable arms or whatever. Well, apparently mine forgot to take his Viagra today before shooting time, because it just, no matter where I positioned it, it kept falling and the angle was just like all tense. And I'm like, I moved it to like 4 different places. So finally I stuck it like at the top of the steering wheel. So we've got this weird, so I'm like in, the passenger seat turned sideways. And at this point I feel like there should be a drinking game or something about like, where will Summer be recording from today? Will it be her van, her house, her, talking to us through a Ouija board from beyond the grave? I don't know, but it is what it is. We just keep moving.
Can we not do the Ouija board though? Can we do like anything else?
I mean, sure, but I don't want to die anytime soon, but if I do, I would appreciate it if, and if you don't want to do the Ouija board, have a guest or something, come try to talk to me.
I definitely would try, just maybe with like a pendulum or like the Christmas lights in Stranger Things.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one, but I would say that's something.
All of the letters of the alphabet on the wall, and then she hung Christmas lights, like one light over each letter, and then he would light up the light for like what letter he wanted to use.
Okay, so here's my issue with that and the Ouija board, is that I can't fucking spell, and I'm not sure the afterlife comes with predictive text, so we should probably not do that. Maybe a pendulum or something that's very low energy that I can just like that way.
When I was working with kids with autism that were like mostly non-speaking, they had peck boards with pictures. I'll make you one of those for the afterlife, like an electric
that would
one.
Work. Yes, something like that, or like the little buttons that the dogs push on the floor. I might be able to handle that. Like,
let's do that. I like that.
It's me.
It's scary though. Just hear Summer.
I'm hungry.
Like, where's my cake? Chocolate cake.
I need a chocolate cake button now.
Same. Or like candy. Chocolate just in general, just everything chocolate always. I need lots of that right now. It's been a week.
Oh yeah, same. And so I was eating my feelings in the form of pie the other day, and I only ate half the pie, and then I decided to eat some more the next morning for breakfast, and I bit down, and pie has betrayed me. I bit down on a tooth that's lost a cavity, and I've been in pain for the last 4 days. Pie betrayed me. Can you believe that?
I cannot. I don't think it was pie. I think your pie was possessed by a demon, and the demon did it, not the pie.
Demonic pie.
I would never. Dean Winchester's pie would never.
It was definitely Chuck. Chuck is a dick.
Yeah, fuck Chuck. It wasn't a demon, it's Chuck.
That's got to be what it is.
We're team anti-Chuck.
Yeah.
Here.
Yes, we are. Honestly, I want to see a reboot. Like, I watched the 1 season of the Winchesters, and that's all well and good and whatever. It was mildly entertaining, but I want Sam and Sam. I want a show with Sam's kid, Little Dean. I want a show with Little Dean. Have Ben come, find out Dean was his dad, and he can show up, and we have a nice little show.
It would be super cute, and I would love it, and I would watch it. I didn't watch the Winchesters because it looked pretty like goofy.
It is it is a lot. It is definitely aimed at a different target demographic. Younger, yeah, than us.
The thing I liked about Supernatural was that it was like scary and spooky, and then had like funny moments, but it wasn't like the whole show was funny.
Right. This is much more the other way. This is more along the lines of Charmed. Remember the original Charmed?
Yeah.
A little drama, little dramedy, a little drama and comedy with, interspersed with the demonic stuff, but it's not as dark.
I don't mind that, but it would have to be like the costumes are really bad. Like they were in like the original Charmed. Like they weren't awful, but they weren't like great, So
I mean, they were peak fashion for that time.
I mean, yeah, that's why it worked though. Like it fit, and it fit the vibe of the show, and I liked it. But now I
also liked when they started making that part of the joke. When they're like, you need to wear running shoes. You can't be fighting demons in this.
Yeah.
I liked when they made it part of the joke.
Like, who's fucking fighting demons in a mini skirt and a crop top? Nobody. That's weird.
Like, how are those tiny little straps they were wearing surviving that sort of combat? It's not going to happen.
In anime, they just have like a piece of like a Band-Aid just on their boobs, and it's holding it up. Like, how? You got anime physics in there, man.
Yeah, yes.
Could you imagine how great life would be if your boobs just like never moved and Band-Aids could just hold them like together?
My life would be so much simpler. My life would be so much simpler. Because like I kind of envy these women who can go without a bra.
Same. I mean, like I do, but like only at home. Otherwise, I'm gonna knock somebody out in public.
Right, like they move too much, they're too jiggly, and quite honestly, when it's really hot, you don't want you want that skin under there to breathe. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with a whole other problem. I'm sorry, my bra is showing, and I keep trying to fix it, and apparently, I can't work in mirror image.
Mirror image is so hard for me. It's fine. I get it.
Okay, Westbend was a welder, a very good welder. Okay, and he did mirror welding. All right, where they stick a mirror back there and like they weld
that sounds
in
hard.
the mirror because there's not enough space. My brain will not do that. I never could wrap my head around it. It was just very impressive to me that those guys could do that because I could not.
I could no.
My brain doesn't work like that.
Girls and the K is backwards, but it looks fine to her. That's me. I can't do it.
Although I bought these new eyelashes and they're like less flexible and feels much, much heavier on my eyelids. So I'm like sitting here blinking real big. Like, did it come off? Am I dying? Am I having a stroke? What's happening?
Would it be us without weird ADHD tangents?
Right. No, never. That's what they should make a drink. They could make a drinking game out of our ADD to see how long we can stay on topic, but they might die. So proceed with caution if you're going to do that.
Absolutely. Like I took my meds this morning and everything, and I still am just like all over the place. But like I can focus for like a good like minute now. Progress.
Ooh, fancy. Focus on stuff for a whole minute.
Last night, where I hyperfixated for a good 5 hours.
On what? What was it? I know you sent the message, but I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Budgeting.
Oh, right. Budgeting. That's right. I do remember the car payment.
All the way to March of next year, I budgeted.
Wow.
Pay off my whole car 2 months early, and save a couple grand for savings, and pay off all of my debt except for my student loans and my credit card. Student debt is never going anywhere, so.
That is. Oh, I have no intention of ever paying my student debt off. Yeah, I've just accepted, and I've accepted that as a result, because of the amount of student loan debt I have, my credit rating will always suck. And that just is what it is. And I just am not going to stress about it.
Like, I'm so, like, I want to go back to school, but I just, like, don't want to add more to it. So, I mean, it could, I guess.
I kind of I want to do so many things, but I just don't have time, money, or energy right now.
I swear to God, Summer, if you go back to school.
Okay, but I want to do the full spectrum doula thing, and there's these jeweler classes.
Okay, but like trade school and the doula thing I get, but like
That's what I want to do. No, I'm done. I'm done with university degrees. Like I've studied, I think I have explored academia more than enough. I want to learn how to do I want to learn some new skills.
Yeah.
I already understand how to research in, multiple different disciplines. I'm good. I want to do something else.
Like
I want to make pretty things.
Jewelry, and now you could just make more.
Right, because there's some things like I would like to learn silversmithing. I would like to improve my skills on, because I work primarily with semi-precious gems, and I would like to improve my skills on, for one, fucking remembering them. My brain does not work anymore. I have to look that up. I used to be able to look at them and just like identify the stone and tell you the properties. I have to look it up now. I am not okay with this cognitive decline that has happened.
Same. My doctor said I have post-concussive syndrome, so I love that.
Otherwise known as brain damage. But they don't call it that. They don't say that to you because they don't want you to panic. But I remember the first time I realized, after, I don't know, my third or fourth serious concussion, when I realized that a concussion is actually a brain injury.
Yeah. That's fine.
So I'm like, I should probably like try to not do that anymore because
I was doing so good, and then I hit a slick patch in the rain and got another one. It's fine.
Yeah, in the car.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Been 8 months. I had to count.
I didn't even know a day or month. Honestly, I'm not even sure what year it is. Sometimes I have to check. Like, that's the point I'm at with the chaos that is my life right now.
I know it's Wednesday because on Tuesdays and Thursdays I go to the gym, and I didn't go to the gym today, so it's Wednesday.
That's Wednesday.
So.
Man.
Ugh.
Yeah, my brain just like lost where I was going. I don't remember. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, that's how my brain is going lately. I don't have nails on. I think it's the first time everybody's seen me with no nails.
I'm naked nails always.
I took off the acrylics because the place I was going hired a new woman, and she's pretty new. And bless her heart, she does a good job making them look pretty, but she hasn't gotten the hang of not drilling your nail too deep. And so after twice in a row of her doing my nails, they were so thin, there's really not much nail left. So I'm having to grow out the damage. So I'm having to grow out the damage because I can't put nails on them. So hopefully she'll get some more practice and get better. Because she does great with the acrylic, with building, the acrylic, but the drill, she needs a little bit of more practice.
Yeah, that hurts me.
I know.
I don't like the feeling of acrylics on my nails, and I will chew them off after 2 days. Like I'm a feral coyote and just gnaw them off. But the thought, when they do the drill and stuff, hate it, shakes my whole body, and then they put the acrylic on, and then I want to die. It's just not a process.
Oh no. See, I can live with, I have gotten used to the drill. I can live with the drill. But when they take the file, that big file, and do that to shape it, I want to die. It is horrible. And they're always like, they look at me, they're like, are you okay? I'm fine. Just finish doing what you're doing. Because I can't stand like gritted teeth. I just try to focus on breathing because I can't handle it.
I hate
And
the
I
whole
can't
process.
explain that.
I like them for a good like 2 hours, like when they're done. Like I like a good 2 hours and I'm like, oh my gosh, so pretty, and I'll do the clicky thing. And then I hate them, I want them off. So
I'm struggling.
The stick-on nails, those are my speed. Because I can just pop them off when I'm done.
I put my daughter, my 17-year-old, graduated. Well, she had prom on Saturday, and then she graduated from Votech yesterday, which you said this is Wednesday, so Tuesday. And that's what I did. I put I had found her some of the glue-on nails. And they're like the ones that I wore at the beginning when we first started the podcast, but I've lost those. I don't know what I did with my nails. That's why I don't have any on. So they're more flexible than the old style of press-on nails. And they stay better. She wore them. I put them on her before she left on Saturday night. She still had them on at the end of last night. I don't know if she soaked them off yet or not, but they were perfectly fine. So
they're great.
They have made improvements, and I may switch to that.
I always get the kind, like I don't use the glue because I somehow always stick my fingers to themselves and I hate it. So I always get like the sticky like gel patch ones.
That's what the ones that I was wearing on the show that I've misplaced. That's what they have, is those little gel.
I like those.
And that way I can take them off without damaging my nails too. I really like those. So I have to find those. But I do want to find some that are shorter than that, because those ones were exceedingly long.
Everybody always wants the long ass nails, and I'm like, I wear contacts and I'm uncoordinated. I cannot do it. I know some people that have the long nails, wear contacts, and can do it fine. I am not one of those people. Props
uncoordinated. That's where I was going. That's where I was going 5 minutes ago. Because our ADHD and our other Yes, our neurodivergencies actually make us more likely to hurt ourselves because we are more accident prone. Because either we're not paying attention, or now I find, I have been learning about all this, like, the hypermobility and shit like that. I posted on my public Facebook page because my mother's sister is blocked from my personal page, but apparently she was still following my public page. And I had posted something about how my knee goes in and out. And she commented saying that I need to get evaluated for EDS because apparently that's what she has. I'm like, this would have been helpful information for the last few decades. Why has nobody told me this?
I was talking to my roommate about that the other day because she just always has random fucking bruises everywhere. And I was like, you have ADHD. Like, just straight up, you have ADHD because you have to constantly be busy and you're always on the move. You cannot sit still ever. You always have random fucking bruises because you don't remember what you did. It's just a thing. Like, if you have random bruises, it's probably because you were busy, like, running all the place doing things, and you got it.
So did you see that? And I just lost the other phone that I was keeping my notes on, so I don't know where the hell it went. So oops. The article that came out, I think it was the BBC, where it's this big expose where he's like, I don't have, the headline says I don't have ADHD, but these three private but these three private clinics say I do. And so basically the premise was, what they were writing about was saying, basically, if you pay for the evaluation, they'll give you a diagnosis and give you medication. But if you start reading the article, he started going for the evaluations because his friend who has ADHD kept telling him he has ADHD. And he goes through like the diagnostic criteria and acknowledges he has those symptoms. Like,
That's
this
literally
is
what
not,
I did.
yeah, I'm like, this is not the expose you think it is. Like, you're just being ableist, and so you're afraid to admit that you have ADHD.
That's literally what I did, because you and one of our other friends and the guy that I've been seeing, like, he has ADHD, our friend has ADHD, and pretty like we do, and you guys kept telling me I did, and I didn't believe you. So I asked my
Oh yeah,
psychiatrist
I knew
about it,
from the
and
time
she
I
was
met you.
like, "You don't meet any of the criteria from the DSM-5," and I was like, "That's because I'm not a boy." First of all, like, this who all of the diagnostic criteria was based on was like 5-year-old boys. Like,
I disagree that you don't meet the criteria from DSM-5, but
I meet some of them, but she doesn't think that I meet it like enough because I'm not like hyperactive in the way that like people think of ADHD. It's like
well,
I twitch and I move and I can't sit still ever. I'm constantly like fidgeting, and she can't see that because I'm not in front of her.
right. And that was one thing that he said in that article too, was he thinks it doesn't qualify because he doesn't think it interferes with his life to enough of a degree. I'm like,
my life up.
Right? I'm like, but that's very subjective because I don't think mine effect interferes with my life that bad either. But if you talk to the people around me, they have a very different perspective about that because they just tolerate it because they've learned that that's just how it is.
I was like, Summer, when was the last time you took all of your vitamins and things? When was the last time you did like such and such?
Yeah. we think if we're still getting things done, that we're okay and it's not interfering with our lives. And we like to downplay the amount of energy that goes into masking and into,
like
doing that budgeting because, a lot of people who don't have that issue can sit down and do that budget in 20 minutes and with no stress and just move on. We can't do that.
It took me 5 hours, and that was me just like staring at the paper and like calculators and doing it, and like it should not have taken me 5 hours. Like, kept getting distracted, and I was like, oh wait, but no, if I do this, then I can. It's fine. It just interferes with my sleep schedule, me being able to work, spending time with friends.
Existing.
Just being alive, Just ADHD things.
Yeah. My dad always, which for context, he is autistic. He has less OCD tendencies now than when he was younger. When he was younger, he was very, very high anxiety, very OCD. Everything has a place you can't move it, that kind of thing. So he always said that I was flighty and unstable because I was here and not everything has to be planned to the moment and all of that. So it's always been funny. We laugh about it now because now he better understands, because when he was, I'm struggling here. I should not have worn this shirt. Good God. So, when I was growing up, of course, he didn't know what autism was other than, the movie Rain Man. So he didn't understand that he's on the spectrum until my son got diagnosed and he realized like, oh, I do like every one of those things. And so now that we both kind of understand that this is just how we process things and how we work, we don't like get angry at each other about the stuff anymore. We're just like, okay, this is just how it is. It's fine. Like, it's not inherently wrong.
Yeah.
And I do think that's why it's
excited.
important for people to understand and to be, if you can get evaluated or self-evaluation or anything. I just think understanding how your brain works is just very helpful.
Same. Because, like, I tried to say, I tried to self-diagnose, like, after you guys were like, I think you have ADHD. I'm like, 900% sure you have ADHD. So I was like going through all the things, took all of the quizzes that I could find on the internet that were like semi-reputable, not like BuzzFeed or anything. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. I think you guys are right. And like I've gone so long without like the medication, and now like having meds, it's like I'm a whole different person and I like can get shit done. Who knew that I could like function as a person?
What? That's a thing?
I didn't know that my brain wasn't supposed to go like 9 million miles an hour and that I had to think about 75 different things in 1 second. Like, who knew?
Well, and see, here's where I think that here's where capitalism is killing us, right? Because when we all lived in community and took care of each other, we could each do something that fit with our skills and talents better.
Yeah.
Not everybody can just get up and do an 8 to 5 easily and function that way.
Yeah, I vote we go back to that.
I am all about it. Unfortunately, they charge a lot of money for land in order to give people a place to live.
And you can't just like build wherever you want. You have to actually buy it.
Right. Unfortunately.
Stupid.
I'm not a fan. I know I'm not a fan of this. Like,
I'm not a fan of the
I
system.
bought I mean, I bought this property that I'm building on. But honestly, it pisses me off. I shouldn't be having to pay money for land in my own fucking reservation, no less.
I agree with that.
It's ridiculous.
So stupid.
It's so stupid. Oh, the U.S. government is stupid.
Like, I just don't understand, because like if it's on like a certain like people's land, why can't they just like divvy it up how they want? Like, I don't.
Well, because I can tell you how that happened, actually.
Capitalism.
Well, what had happened was they put us here. They made us come here. They herded us, as I usually call it. They herded us here, and we started to recover. We were still collectivistic, still taking care of each other, still living as community. And so like it would be my great something like that. I don't know. I'm only the 5th generation to live in this in Oklahoma. Or I guess to be born in Oklahoma. So anyhow, like they had a self-sustainable I guess farm, for lack of a better word, and with orchards and stuff, and then they would of course barter with other people who had different things and all of that, and so everybody was taking care of everybody. And there were also people who lived outside the boundaries, or who didn't have things, and there were actually, because it was illegal for you to leave the reservation boundaries without permission. But there's stories about how they would, take provisions back and forth to families that lived outside. And so things were going well, right? We weren't dying off like they had hoped. And so then the plan was to separate us geographically. So they took all the land back and they checkerboarded it out. And, there's lots of information in the government archives where they talk about this. This isn't like, just guesswork. This is really what they talked about their intentions were. And so they would put a Choctaw family, a white family, a Choctaw family, right? So you would, because, it's not like we had cars at the time.
Yeah.
So to travel miles was a long, laborious process. So they were geographically separating everybody to try to break down the foundation of the community. It wasn't working as well as they had hoped. So then boarding schools were the next phase. Separate the kids, and so you can't pass all that on to them. They can't make those connections. And then, of course, between the indoctrination and the outright hostility from the churches, that also killed off our ceremonial grounds. And so it was deliberate on how they separated all of us and why the land can't be just ours now.
That's garbage. I don't like it.
Same. Yeah.
I have a problem with just all of that. I don't like it.
Same.
Like, you're gonna put us here against our will. The least you can do is let us have the land the way we want to have it,
Right. Just leave us alone. That was
the first best option would have been just fucking off and leaving us alone. Second best, if you can't do that, just let us have the land that you forced us on and let us live how we want. First option's obviously the best. But,
yeah, they can't do it.
Greedy white men cannot.
They cannot.
Alone.
They cannot leave well enough alone to save their goddamn lives.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And to be sure you never miss an upload, make sure you turn your notifications on. And please come join us on social media so we can continue these conversations in between episodes. You'll find us at Hypoxia Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.